Welcome to the second part of our workshop. I hope you have already completed practice 2. If you haven't, please press pause, complete practice 2, and then let's move on to the third practice. Now, the next step in writing a strong introduction is writing a strong thesis. And I think at this point, we're all kind of experts on this because we've had a workshop on thesis writing. And there are a few rules that I want to just remind you of one more time. Your thesis should reflect your position, your claim. Your thesis should reflect at least one rationale, your reasoning. Don't forget that your thesis can be more than one sentence. And your thesis can be explicit or implicit. Now, implicit thesis writing is very difficult, and I don't usually teach it just because it's at a very advanced level. But what we are mostly used to in an English class is an explicit thesis where we clearly state our claim and our rationales. So here's some examples for you guys. Let's say the question is that my teacher is asking, do photographs accurately represent reality? And then let's say the sample student wants to answer yes. So here is a sample thesis for the yes position. The public can certainly trust photographs to represent reality because photos are a unique way of telling the truth. They teach us about the most important moments of our lives. Notice, you guys, it's a 2-part thesis. It's 2 sentences. So again, it goes to show that a thesis can be 1 or 2 sentences or more. Also, notice that the word because lends itself to a rationale. I'm saying that yes, photos can represent reality. That's my claim. And then what's my reasoning? Well, I'm defending my position by saying they're a unique way of telling the truth. And then I continue on. How are they a unique way? Well, they tell us about the most important moments of our lives. So it's not a perfect thesis, but it still meets the requirements of a thesis. Here's another yes to the question of, do photographs accurately represent reality? The public should trust photographs to represent reality. That's my claim. That's my position. Only if they know the source of the photo and that source is credible. So there's actually 2 rationales. Number 1 being that if they know the source, and number 2 being the credibility of the source. So whether the source is identified and whether that identified source is credible. So it's actually a 2 rationale thesis right here. Now let's say you wanted to take the no side, that you wanted to argue no, photographs don't represent reality. You can write, the public should not trust photographs to represent reality. Again, that's my claim, it's my position, because photos today are edited to the point of skewing truth. So that's my main rationale. And notice how it's just 1. So when I say you should have a rationale, it could be 1, it could be more than 1. For this thesis, I have 1. Here's my final example. As a result of our digital revolution, photos today are completely fake and misleading. So notice that this is a more advanced thesis. It is a 2-part thesis. It has 2 sentences, but the claim is in 1 sentence, and then my rationale will be in the following sentence. They fail to accurately represent and also send false and often harmful messages about reality. So again, I have a 2-part rationale. So not only do they inaccurately represent reality, but they also send false messages about reality. And we basically call that harmful. So I wanted to give some sample thesis statements just so you guys can see, even though we did this in the thesis workshop, I think you can never have too many examples. Now, the next part of the essay structure, we covered introductions. Now let's cover body paragraphs. And I call body paragraphs the heart of your argument. Number one, a body paragraph has to have a topic sentence. It has to have evidence, and it has to have analysis. And finally, it has to have a concluding sentence that goes back to that initial topic sentence. So you kind of want to go full circle in your body paragraph. So when we look at it, think about the metaphor of a tree. What you have here is your thesis, and the thesis is really like the main part of your argument. And then, of course, your topic sentence ends up being a branch. The evidence is another branch. The analysis is another branch. The concluding sentence is another branch. And when you put that all together, it strengthens your thesis. And that's like the best metaphor to use here, just to demonstrate. So step one of writing a strong body paragraph, step one is creating strong topic sentences. So there's a few rules I would like you to remember. That if you are writing a topic sentence, number one, your topic sentence should reflect your main idea. Now, if your thesis has one rationale, that is the rationale that you are supposed to incorporate in your topic sentence. If your thesis has multiple rationales, then it really depends which topic sentence you're writing, because if it's a topic sentence that's supposed to be in the first half of your essay, it might be the first rationale. If it's in the middle part of your essay, it might be the second rationale. If it's later on in your essay, it might be your third rationale, and so on and so forth. Number two, your topic sentence should have smooth transitions. Now, transitions are words, phrases that piece writing together. They unify your writing. Transitions can include words like furthermore, in addition, also. There's so many. And if you guys aren't aware of transitions, you should definitely just Google it. Transitions in essay writing. There's going to be tons that you have to choose from. Number three, topic sentences convey only one main idea. If you cram too many ideas in your topic sentence, it's not going to work, because if you have more than one main idea, that just means you need to have more than one body paragraph. You should never try to tackle more than one idea at a time. And finally, topic sentences should be provable. You want to prove your topic sentence to be true. You don't want your topic sentence to be like, too factual, to be so factual that it doesn't really create like a healthy debate. Like that doesn't sound like fun, writing a topic sentence that's completely fact, I don't know, topic sentence, the earth is round. It's like, okay, what am I going to prove in the rest of that body paragraph? So you definitely want a provable, debatable issue to tackle. All right, we are ready for practice 3. So first of all, let's read the topic. Here is my sample topic about online dating. Does the contemporary online scene help or hurt our relationships? So that's the question. Here's the thesis that the sample student came up with. Online dating websites hurt our relationships because they serve only to boost our ego, not allowing us to become emotionally invested in our partners. So if you notice, we have our claim, and then after because, we have our rationale. Now, I would like you to write a topic sentence. Let's pretend like this is our thesis. We are ready to write our first body paragraph. What is the topic sentence that you are going to write? And I don't want to tell you how many rationales this thesis has, because I want you to figure it out. So for practice 3, I would like you to press pause and go ahead, write a topic sentence for this sample thesis up here. All right, the next step in our process of writing strong body paragraphs is finding support. So find the best support. And what does that mean? We've got to have strong evidence, you guys. That's why we're doing all these readings, because we want to have a place of experience and a place of knowledge. We don't just want to write essays just from thin air, kind of like bullshitting as we go along. We want to have really good evidence to back up what it is we want to argue. So strong evidence, what does that include? Well, first of all, strong evidence will be specific, it will be detailed. They are examples that help to support the claim that you're making. And it's important to know that strong evidence can be in so many different ways. It might be in the form of a quote. It might be a personal experience. Like, for example, what's a testimony? And this is actually a person's personal experience being used. A testimonial is a person's experience. So, for example, if I happen to be walking and I witness a crime happening, I end up being that, the person that can testify. So my testimonial ends up being my firsthand primary account of what happened. Now, that's different. Like if I witness something, that's called a testimonial. But a personal example can be something like, this is an experience that my mom went through, or this is a hardship that my dad endured, or this is something that happened to me when I was 6 years old. So these personal observations and examples can be examples from our memory, but then the testimonial are actions, events that we ourselves have witnessed. And then finally, factual information. We do the research and we find the facts one way or another to prove our claim. And it really depends, what claim we want to make and what rationales we would like to prove. That's the kind of factual information you ultimately want to find. All right, so step 2 says, find the best support and properly use it. So if you look on the left column, I'm telling you how to find the best support. But then let's say you found it. Well, how are you supposed to use it? And I thought I would give you guys some examples just to clarify the proper way of using evidence. So first of all, every time you're going to use evidence, you should introduce it properly. This means a proper intro of the article title and of the author, and an overview of the text that you're using. So this is a good hint for your essays, because I would like you to do this. Look at this one right here. In the article, Love Me Tinder by Emily Witt, Witt describes the different ways that people use Tinder by providing various narratives from people who use this app for online dating. I took this from a student writing. It's not perfect, but it still gives an overview of the article and the author. Then look here. You have to provide background information, context. So if you're going to use evidence, you better have the context for it. So over here, again, another student writing says, Witt illustrates the experience of a girl named Catherine and her interaction with a man named Eli. Catherine was looking for a relationship while Eli wasn't. When Catherine and Eli had their first chat, she asked him why he chose to be on Tinder. I'm setting up the quotation here because I'm about to quote this next part. Eli responded that it was an esteem thing and had taught him that women find him more attractive than he thinks, and he didn't have a lot of time to date. Then he added, but if you ever just want to bloop, please holler at me, cool? And then of course the in-text citation. So I put this in bold. Here's a lead-in phrase, here's another lead-in phrase, and here's a citation. So all together, if you look at the entire paragraph put together, I have an overview of the article, I have the context, and I have proper use of the quotation. This is what I would like you guys to do every time you are going to use and quote evidence in your essay.